I recreate my life. I get another nice apartment, doorman building, all new suits, big TV again. I swear off comedy. 2 months later, I'm back in the clubs doing comedy again like an alcoholic looking for the drink. So now I know I got a problem. Metamorphosis, a change of the form or nature of a thing or person into a completely different one.
You ever been so tired you look at a homeless guy asleep on the street and go, boy, I wish I could sleep like that?
My name's Paul Mecurio. I'm a comedian, was a lawyer, investment banker on Wall Street, and the money was just too nice and comfortable, and I left to be a comedian. I had been making some short films when I got out of law school, and then I started writing jokes as a hobby, and I don't know why. And I had a passworded file at work at the law firm, and I would put these jokes into the file. So I don't know why I was writing the jokes. I'll never be able to answer. I was working really late one night, and one of the other associates is going to this big function, and Jay Leno was a private entertainment, and I wasn't going to go because I was too busy. And then he said, you know what, I'll take an hour off. And I was standing over the keyboard. I was like, what the heck? And I hit print, and I printed out all my jokes. And then I went up to Jay Leno after he performed, and I said, I don't know if you need jokes or want jokes, but I'm a fan of yours, and if you want these, you can have them. I'm never going to use them. I'm a lawyer, and he's like, okay. And then 2 days later, the phone rang, and somebody went, it's Paul Mecurio there, it's Jay Leno. And I had told my friend David, who does impressions, that I met Jay Leno, and I thought it was him pranking me. So I went, yeah, right. Yeah, nice try, David. He goes, no, it was Jay Leno. And I actually said to Jay Leno, you do a lousy Jay Leno. And he goes, I'm Jay Leno. I think I do a pretty good Jay Leno. So turned out to be Jay Leno.
Welcome to the Tonight Show.
And he hired me to start sending jokes in for the Tonight Show monologue. Paid me $50 a joke. And then about a week later, he did one of my jokes on the Tonight Show. And my head was like blown off my shoulders. $50. Now here's a middle-class kid from Rhode Island working on merger deals that were on the front page of the Wall Street Journal. And that suddenly paled by comparison to this little $50 joke. I sold my apartment on the Upper West Side. I sold everything, had a sob, I kept that, sold my suits, sold my TV. And I moved to a rooming house in New Rochelle for $327 a month. And I started to live the life of a comic. And within a few months, I'm like, I made a huge mistake. I was scared to death. I was panicking that I wasn't going to be able to go back to what I had. And then I started to run this race with all of my friends on Wall Street, because they're now getting bigger bonuses and bigger houses. And I went to my friend Danny's house one time in Greenwich, and it was basically a mini mansion. And I walked in and I started to look around, and I'm like, I can't do this. And I went into the bathroom, I put the toilet seat down, and I sat on the bathroom like this. And I went, what have I done? What have I done? I screwed up. I gotta get back. I gotta get back. I gotta get back. I can go back now. I can still have it. I was freaking out. So I go and get a job interview, do the job interview. And by the way, around this time I shot one of those TV improv, like Evening at the Improv, something like that. It was like, the Comedy Central thing where everybody does 5 minutes of stand-up. And I go and I interview and I get the job. I recreate my life. I get another nice apartment, doorman building, all new suits, big TV again. I swear off comedy. So end of story is we're selling an HMO, a $700 million deal. Big conference room, lawyers, bankers on both sides of the deal. CEO, like a 65-year-old gray-haired gentleman, nice guy, goes to me in front of everybody. Did I see you on TV last night? I'm like, no. He goes, yeah, I think you were telling jokes or funny stories or something. I'm not. Well, they had aired that thing I shot, but they didn't tell me. So then it dawned on me, I'm like, yeah, that was me.
Just started walking, it's so cute. You ever see a kid when he first starts walking? How cute is that? Because he walks 10 feet, and then he sits, and he walks 10 feet, and he sits, and he walks 10 feet, and he sits, and I realized he's a security guard.
Now I think I'm gonna get reamed, and he goes, it was great. He goes, hey everybody, my investment banker's a comedian, how about that? He goes to his assistant, hey, why don't we go to the comedy club tonight in town, and we'll bring everybody, and Paul will do a set for. I'm like, no. And that was the pivotal moment for me, because I think I needed permission from Wall Street that it was okay to do what I was doing, that this thing that seemed frivolous to me, telling jokes or making movies or whatever, was okay. And I'm not proud of the fact that I needed that affirmation, but I think I did. And so I went back and I left again, and I moved to a smaller apartment, and I started doing it full time. So the big thing about stand-up is you got to get comfortable yourself on stage so you can really be who you are, which is unique from everybody else. And that took a while, but eventually I started to just get comfortable enough where I would just talk about myself, warts and all, like I'm confrontational with people because I think I'm going to change people's behavior. So I just started to tell these stories that happened to me in my life, and they really connected with people, and they'd come up and say, hey, I relate to that, and I got a lot of fulfillment out of that. And then I was also talking about social political stuff, and one of the creators of The Daily Show knew me from stand-up and invited me to do a writing submission, and I got hired on The Daily Show to write on that show. And I basically thought the show would last for a little while and then get canceled like everything else. But I thought, well, I'll take it. It'll be a TV credit. So then The Daily Show happened, and that was crazy.
Please welcome back to The Late Show, Paul Mecurio.
Now I'm in a really cool place, I work on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. I've done a bunch of appearances on that. I've got a Broadway show that's coming out. So, looking back on all of this, the thing that stands out now that I didn't see was that I was doing something right, listening to my inner voice about going for the comedy thing, because I got excited over $50, right? Like, I didn't need the money. And the passion that sort of brought out of me was a sign that that's really where I was supposed to be.